Well, hey there, everybody. This is kind of a slightly impromptu video that me and Nate wanted to bring you today, but for those who follow the 1911 Syndicate brand on a somewhat close basis, you will know that there's a pitch coming here, so just know that you are heading into a pitch right now. For all of our real estate clients, we try to do really cool shit to make them feel good and appreciated, and so what we do is we have custom knives made for everyone. Our 2020 blade that I think has been a big hit. I don't, mine is currently in the vehicle, unable to protect me, but super cool blade. And when it came around to coming up with the 2021 blade, we're like, let's do something different. Like, we hit the self-defense thing.
Yeah, that idea worked, and we didn't really want to change it, do a second self-defense knife, and
no.
there's not many places to go outside of what we've already done there, so...
Yeah. And for anyone, if you wind up seeing our 2021 blade here, and if you're like, man, when I buy a house, I really want the 2021, not a problem. Basically, it's going to be like a catalog of the years where you can take your pick, which is, 2020, 2021, take your pick.
This is season number 2.
This is season 2.
Yeah.
So the concept was for a folder, okay? Was for a folder. We wanted to go total different direction. Instead of just kind of a nasty, down and dirty self-defense tool, it was more
a gentlemanly tool.
A gentleman's tool,
yeah.
you know? This would...
Yeah. Where we are, we're incorporating some, the feeling of tradition, of old school.
Something, imagine, like, if you're like, man, I feel like having a cigar and a brandy right now. You're like, well, what knife would accompany you on that venture that you're taking?
A traditional aesthetic with a modern flair.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so we sort of came to an idea
We spitballed a lot of ideas. We drew a lot of pictures.
Correct. And we came to this idea of, what if you could have a meat cleaver that was a folding knife?
Can you make a folding cleaver?
Yes. And because this has been done, there's other companies, I don't know them off the top of my head, that have done this, but they're all kind of modern and, frankly, in my opinion, ugly, and that's just me being judgy, but I'm like, none of these do anything for me, and I've got something in mind that's for, like, dimly lit rooms, the tool that you want in that scenario. And we came up with this little bad boy. I'll swap you. I'll show the finished one.
Okay. We have the prototype and we have the finished version. So, here we go.
So this thing came out super cool. Like, this thing came out super cool. Prediction, as we were just talking before we started rolling, it will be a polarizing blade. You will probably feel very strongly one way or another about it. You will either love it or hate it. Clearly, I'm super biased in this. I love it. But, like, this is a beefy folder. Yeah,
this is a large, robust folding knife.
With a lot of traditional actual cleaver things. Like I don't know what the intent of this hole is on cleavers.
The original reason is just to hang it on a hook.
Well, there you go. Obviously, there's a high degree of style in this. This is not purely made at being a functional thing. That there's a high degree of, like, we just want something that's
if
cool.
Somebody wanted to pound it through, split some wood with it, I suppose you could. You absolutely could. This is a knife I would not recommend you do that with.
Not the intent.
Yeah, it's not the intent behind the blade. It's not the intent behind the tool. Well, this is a liner lock, as you can see. And it's been finished with, let's see, where should I begin with this?
Just take him a little tour.
Okay. Well, what Jake wanted was a folding knife, and then he said not only be a folding knife, be a folding cleaver. So I don't know if anybody knows this, but I don't really make folders. The folders are very new to me. This is the 5th one I think I've ever done. And folders are all about the mechanism. They're all about this area right here and how all the pins and the fittings line up so that it works. And getting into the design, it was definitely going down a rabbit hole I'd never been. Fortunately, it went well. It's a maze. You have to be able to track where every single little piece of this goes in order so that the blade doesn't run into the spacer, that it stops right here, but it doesn't go too far and dull the blade, that it rises and will stop and will lock and there's no rattling, that the action is smooth and that you can reverse it, are all those little things that just come from getting in and working it and saying, okay, that's got to be adjusted, that has to be tweaked, tracking exact the tolerances on all the material, that every bit of the material has been correctly adjusted for the thickness of the rest of the material. The spacers have to be just the right size in order for this to be smooth. But it seems to be working.
Yeah, and compared to, I mean, what you traditionally do and what we did with the 2020 blade, which was, hey, we're essentially taking just a raw piece of steel, making it really hot. This is a bro science version of what you do, but then you hammer it into this perfect thing that fits someone's hand and all that. This is just a totally different animal. I mean, obviously, even with the blade itself, you know, that blade really can't be forged. You know, this isn't a knife that's really...
Forging to tolerance for a folding knife is tricky. When you forge, you have a this skin, like this tree bark of scale and steel around the good usable steel that is uneven and has lost carbon in it, and it has to be accounted for as you forge it, then as you again machine it further. So to forge this to shape, only to then further have to machine it down again, is, well, that's an extra step that you won't even see that it was forged. This is more about that it was cut and polished and filed into a tight tolerance. And in the spirit of antiquing and tradition, I've actually left some of the filing marks on here.
It's super cool. You know, details you guys will see in photos that you probably won't really see in the video, but it's cool. I can't remember what wood
this is actually just walnut, and I had to stain it a little bit darker.
Yeah. I'm a proponent of walnut. Always have been.
Yeah. It's been around for a long, long time.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean, look, the thing came out super cool. We'll get some photos up here and there on Instagram and all that good jazz. We just wanted to give you guys a quick kind of little glance behind the scenes, because this has been, you know, I'd say a 3 to 4 month project on this. So it's taken a minute to get this bad boy done.
The first comes designing, is making sure the design actually will function, will work. And then comes ordering all the different pieces that are going to have to work together, and making sure they are as advertised.
Yeah.
And then the biggest challenge about making a knife like this is a term I like to use: order operation. In what order do you put things together in order to polish and keep it all working? If you do. Some of the danger if you do things out of order is that you'll size things incorrectly, or that a lot of care went into how this is finished, because I don't want stain anything up on the brass. I don't want file marks in particular places. I don't want file marks over the Torx head screws. Well, in order to understand, I suppose you'd have to watch.
Yeah.
Says, okay, we're going to start from the beginning and go, this piece gets cut first, this piece gets cut first, maybe we'll do that one day.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe.
You know, in case anyone's unclear on this, because you could go ahead and start being mad at me about this, we do show you this. It is a bit of a carrot dangled in front of you because you can't buy these. Basically, I'm the only one that can buy these, and I buy them for you as a thank you gift. So please don't everyone hit up Nate and ask for that blade, because he cannot make it for you.
If you ask, I'll just direct you to him.
Exactly, and Nate's gonna just say, well, we need to find you a loan officer so you can buy a house and then you can get your blade. But you can help people with obviously a lot of other blades, and the chef's knives are fucking phenomenal right now.
They're going well.
Yeah, so you guys can, you know, we'll tag Nate's Instagram and all that good stuff, but you know, we're about 1.5 years into our sort of projects and working relationship here, and we make some cool blades.
This is if 2020 was a good start, this is
Throw some fuel
this
on
is
that fire.
even. Yeah, this definitely upped the ante.
Yeah.
I can't wait for everybody to get a look at this. Honestly.
Me too. Me
Yeah.
too. So anyway, thanks guys for tuning in. Quick video, basic, give you a little tour of this thing. Thanks. We'll see you soon.